Welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody's having a good weekend. Okay, this is a pre-class to the next class for comprehensive color blending 2. The next class that we're doing is going to get a little bit more difficult and a lot more involved. I gave you 2 easy peasy lessons. The next one is when we're going to do it. So I needed to do a class to get you in the right frame of mind. Because judging by what I've been receiving in email, I have a lot of really super nervous people, okay? Insecure is more, not nervous, insecure is the right word. So I have a story to tell you and something to show you. And then you might be able to relate to this. Now, you know I started a new crafting channel, and it's mostly because I've been fascinated by resin art, and I really wanted to do it again. I did it years ago. I didn't do art with resin. I made crafts with resin. Now I want to do more art in the craft than craft. So I bought some more resin, and I watched some YouTube videos. The scratching sound is Ming. He's going to start to throw a temper tantrum because I'm talking and I'm not paying attention to him. So, got it out. Ming, please. I went out and I bought a mold. And I bought some brand new resin, and I bought the mica powders, and I bought the alcohol inks, and everything that everybody told me I was going to need for this hobby. And I was going to take you on a journey with me. Now, having done this a long time ago, I mean, I remember learning any new art form, and this is definitely an art form. There's a learning curve. And I was going to be very happy to show you my happy stuff. But you guys need to see my unhappy stuff. So let me tell you the beginning of the journey, because it's going to be like the beginning of your journey. He's bopping up and down and throwing a fit. He wants to go outside. It's too hot. I can't watch him out there. So I began my journey to learn this new art, and I created that. Now, you guys saw me on the other channel, if you're watching my craft channel, and that was pretty cool. It really came out looking like what I wanted it to look like, which was a flower, of course, but I wanted it to look like a, what do they call it, pansy. And I think for the best that you could do in resin, I could probably do it better now, and I think I'll even try, but I was successful enough. I was happy. Unfortunately, the resin did not completely set, and this is flexible. It's never going to set. I'm just keeping it because it was my first one with the channel. I didn't give up, and I tried it several more times. I wanted to learn the technique called dragon scales, and it's the craze in the resin world to be able to get this technique, and I was determined I was going to learn it. So the next thing I made, which I was never going to show you, but I'm going to, is this. Not horrible. Came out decent. I was like, I could do this, but it was too thin. I was going to do it in layers, and I was like, it's too dark to begin with, which really it isn't, because I could have now, what I know now, I could have fixed that with multiple layers above it. It actually would have come out really good. I gave up on myself too early. I did the same thing with this one. This one, not so much, but it's still not. I got one of those holographic glitters in it, so it was never going to be anything anyway now. So it's a learning experience. I knew what I did wrong. I was going to fix it. Then I thought, I'm going to get all fancy schmancy. And I ended up with Now, it came out like this because I added an additive to it. And the additive that I added to it is something called Lit. And who I was making it for was my goddaughter, because I wanted something for her to have for her room that would glow, because she gets a little nervous sleeping on her own. She's little. And I figured that I used to have those glow worms for my kids, and you squeezed it and it went on, and then as the child falls asleep, they let go of it and the light goes off inside of it. So I made this for her, and I was going to make it all smooth. And I was like, you know what? This is not really good. I tried it again, and I added more. And I got this, a complete blob. But it wasn't horrible. It was interesting. But this entire thing glows like, if you just put it under the light, it just brightens up the room. It's so glowy. So she's getting this one. But I was determined. Gonna get it right. No matter how much it cost me, because this stuff is expensive. This is not your budget pencil set. For a couple of coasters is probably what a budget pencil set would cost me. The resin is it's an expensive hobby. I was gonna figure this out. And I did. I watched some more videos. I tried to think of why my mistakes. With each one, I learned a little bit more. Why did I screw up? Where did I screw up? What could I do better the next time that will not give me the same result as this? Even though this is not bad, I don't hate it. It could be, I could do better. Well, last night I got out my resins. And I did everything differently. And this was the top of the resin. It was okay. This is like you're pouring it in. And I'm like, you know what? This is going to come out like a big blob on the bottom. The technique is never going to work. This is my last one. I'm quitting. I'm giving up. This is an expensive thing to be learning. I'll just find a different craft to do. I gave up on this, and I waited all night for it to harden. And in the morning, I got a second thought. I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to try one more time. Just one. But this thing was still soft, and I only have one coaster mold. So I was like, I was going to give up on it. And then I was like, you know what? I'll throw this one away. I know it's going to come out bad. It's going to come out like a big blob on the bottom. I'm going to just take it out now, even though it's still soft and sticky. I'll clean my mold, and I'm going to try it one more time. And I took it out of the mold. And lo and behold, you ready? I did it. I did the dragon scales. And I did it so good that it's different than anybody else's. And I know what I did. But what did I really do? I completely screwed this one up. This was the nicest one I've ever done. I love it. It's three-dimensional. It's sparkly. It's dragony. It's interesting to look at. And what did I do? I touched it too early, completely screwed up the edges. My fingers are going in and out. My hands are sticky, and I completely screwed this one up. Now, I'm going to wait a couple of hours, and there's a way to fix it that I have to change. I can't have a clear background, of course, but I'm going to do white on the background and completely fix this one. I will be able to keep it, but the edges all have to be sanded down now. I have to get my fingerprints off of it. If I had just waited a little while longer, just a little bit, like I tell you guys all the time, don't give it up. Pictures have an ugly stage. This was my coaster's ugly phase, that I tore it up. I tore up that picture. I wasn't going to do it. I was giving up. I was going to start all over. But if I had waited, just like I tell you guys, just wait it through. I know the ugly stage is hard to get through. Every artist goes through it. Every experienced artist will tell you about the ugly stage. We talk about it, we experience it. You will be experiencing that with the picture you're going to do this week. And when you get to that ugly stage, and when you get to that point where you say, I'm going to start all over again, because it's not coming out the way it's supposed to. Usually 10 minutes goes by of more coloring, and the technique comes in. So this is my lesson. I will fix it, but it was almost a very costly lesson because this is what I've been waiting to do. This was my blue flower with my green leaves, and this is exactly how I wanted it. I learned a lesson. The hard way, but I learned a lesson. I had wanted it with a clear background, but I can't get that now. Unless maybe I sand it. I'd have to sand the whole entire thing. It's completely trashed. You can see the edges. I shouldn't even be touching it right now. So that is my pep story. I will be bringing out the new video probably by Tuesday, and we're going to take it step by step. After this lesson, we'll be working on the bottom. After you finish this one, the petals, we're going to be doing the entire petals this week. When you finish the petals, things will get easier, I promise. And with that, and if you want to see how I do this, the tutorial will be on my crafting channel. I can do this again. I know what I did. Take care. Bye-bye.